Hey y'all. Okay, so we're gonna do what I hope to be a quick video. Imagine that, but I'm gonna try. So I had a special moment with someone today, a total stranger. She's a sweetheart, and we just clicked. She's an older lady, and she, excuse me, excuse me, um, excuse me. Good grief, Charlie Brown. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so my friend had to go to physical therapy, so I went there, and me and this lady in the lobby, we were just talking and we clicked. And I felt very protective of her because she had gone to Starbucks and she always orders her drink a certain way. And the guy said, "We can't do that." And she said, "Since when?" And he was a horse's ass. And she said, "I want your manager." So the manager came in and kind of sided with him, but said, I mean, verified that what he's saying is true, but there's no problem. We'll go ahead and do that extra for you. All she wanted was ice added to her drink and a little bit of water added to it because it's a rich drink. And whenever she went to pay for it, he turned his back to her and ignored her and huffed and puffed and acted like a horse's ass. And let me tell you something. Look here. I don't play that. I don't care if I know the person. I don't care if I don't know the person. I would jump his ass. Because how dare you? She has been a customer for many, many years. Nobody has ever given her grief. You're acting like a 2-year-old. You're acting unprofessional and you're being abusive to a customer. And if it wasn't for the customer, your punk ass wouldn't have a job. So, yes, I would have a problem with it. And I would not only tell him, I would interfere. Not only would I tell him, you get your manager again, you get her right now. Don't make me come back there. If you think I won't go past the counter, I most definitely will. Get your goddamn manager right now. So she had a really bad day, and that really pissed me off. And I felt my body getting warm when she was talking about it because there is absolutely no reason for you to be such a dick. And if you don't want a job, you could get your ass fired, and there will be more than enough people willing to work and make a paycheck. How dare you? You little. Mm. So, anyway, she talked about her husband was in the military back in the day and they've been together for 50 something years. And they used to live in Germany. We were talking about different things of Germany. There's castles over there and whatnot. And she said the food is very, very good and the whole bit. But it kept playing in my mind how she was treated at Starbucks and just really pissed me off. So she went and had her therapy, and then it was her last day of therapy, and so I just felt like I want to give her a hug because I really hated the way he hurt her feelings. And she put her drink down and she goes, "Oh," she told me I was the life of the party, which is hilarious. I'm like, what? I get shy when people give me compliments, but anyway. And so I got up to hug her, and she put her drink down and she hugs me. And she goes, "You love the Lord, don't you?" While she's hugging me, she goes, "You love the Lord, don't you?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I can tell." She says, "You radiate goodness. You just radiate goodness." And it was a beautiful thing. I haven't had an experience like that with a stranger for at least a couple of years, it's been, but it's something that's frozen in your mind forever because it's just a connection. It's beautiful and it doesn't happen every day. It's just incredibly special. And I just wanted her day to be, her evening to start on a good footing, if that makes sense, like on a good foot. So yeah, I don't want her to, I said, "I know you had a bad day, so come here." And I give her a big hug. Um, we need more love in the world. We do. We honestly need more love in the world, and we need to show more kindness to people because the evil people are not going to win. I mean, we're just going to spread our love around and try to counteract the evil. So anyway, so what I want to talk to you today about is dog whistling. Dog whistling is a term. I'm fairly new to that term, although I've heard it before a while back. When you're dealing with abusive, toxic, narcissistic types of people, and let's just say that you're ready to throw in the towel, you're just done with them. So what they'll do is if you're with a group of people, for example, or you're around your family, but you're in the process of pulling away from them emotionally, okay, and they can sense that. So what they'll do is they'll send you a video, or they'll send you a joke that only you know that joke. It's like an inside joke. So when you think about a dog whistle, it's a whistle that only the dog can hear. People cannot hear it. So that's why they call it dog whistling. When this person does this, you're the only person who can understand what's going on with that private joke or that video or that love song. You're the only person. They may quote something from a love song or something like that. They may even do it in a negative way where they make a little snarky ass comment to you because they sense you're pulling away. So they'll say something that other people won't know what that means, but you know what that means, and it's insulting. So it could go either way. So it's called dog whistling. A lot of times narcs will do that when they're hoovering you. Hoovering is when they suck you in like a vacuum cleaner. I want to send you roses and flowers and tell you how much I care about you, and you're going to throw in the towel. We've had so much beauty in our relationships. We had so much good times, and you want to throw in the towel? You want to give up? How can you do that? Try to guilt you into staying with them. Come on now. If you wasn't acting like a fool, you wouldn't be getting a pink slip. Okay? Pink slip is when you're being fired. Ain't nobody got time for all your crap. You are gonna get fired. So yeah. Another thing that I noticed, Lee Hammock has live shows called Waving the Red Flag. And people call in and leave messages on the voicemail. And we listen to them live. Sometimes people come on the show live, and they're willing to tell their story with the narcissistic person narcissistic person they dealt with in their life, and they will go public with their story. Their face is shown. If you don't want your face shown, then that's okay too. But he does this on Thursday nights. I missed it because I had my dog at the dog park because he was in his crate all day long because me and my friend were busy, and he was so I took him to the dog park until dark. I mean, like from the evening time until it got dark. So he was out there for like a couple hours, I think. So I forgot about the show, and it's not a big deal. It's not a huge big deal. I just didn't catch it live. I just caught it after it already aired. Anyway, so one thing that I noticed too, and this is typical of victims of abuse, you have what's called learned helplessness. You get battered by this person. You get abused by this person. You get verbally abused by this person. You ain't shit. You ain't never going to amount to shit. You're lucky I even like you. With that kind of like, nobody really needs it ever, because that's not how you treat someone you supposedly like. You got weight on you, or you're a big person. I mean, you're not really attractive, or whatever it is that the person's trying to say about you. You're never going to get anybody else. Nobody wants somebody with kids, which I'd already told you that's a load of bullshit. A lot of families now are blended families. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. And you're not the same person. When I first met you, you were so happy and positive, and you were so this and that. Well, of course, because you chipped away the person's goodness. So what's left is sadness and depression and anger. And reactive abuse, which is where you go berserk on the person because you're about sick and damn tired of being treated that way, and you want to go upside their head. Don't go upside their head, but you're going to want to go upside their head. So there's a learned helplessness, and there was one lady who was with her husband. She called in on the show. And by the way, let me interrupt myself for a second. The show is on Lee Hammock's channel, YouTube channel, and it starts at 8 East Coast time. which is basically, let me think here. Yeah, 8 o'clock his time, which is 9 o'clock my time, or 7. Anyway, it's 8 Eastern. Is it 7 for me? Hell, I can't think. My brain is starting to slow down. I can't think. I think I'm an hour behind him. Yeah, I'm an hour behind East Coast. So it'd be 7 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock his time. Okay. That felt like a math equation. My brain is slow. Anyway, quit laughing. It's not funny. So anyway, this lady called in and she said, I've been married for 3 years and he's showing narcissistic behavior. He will not go to therapy and I want a divorce. He will not go to counseling whatsoever. And he will not divorce me. And I know he's seeing someone else. And I saw the text messages between him and her. I've seen her and him out together and the whole bit, even though he acts like he don't know what she's talking about. She's seen evidence of him being with someone else, but he won't divorce her. That to me is an example of learned helplessness. You've been verbally and in some cases physically battered for a while, and it's starting to chip away at your identity. It starts to chip away at your determination, your independence, and your strength, your emotional strength, and your independence, and your ability to say, oh, hell no, You get chipped away to where you're a shadow of your former self. Okay? And learned helplessness is a part of that. Let me explain y'all something. Because when I got a divorce, he was uncooperative, 1000%, did not show up in court or anything. He was just, you know, he was just acting like he didn't want nothing to do with any of that. So when you're divorcing someone who's resistant, you do not need their cooperation to get a divorce. You do not need them to respond to your, they have to agree to it and they have to be cooperative. They don't have to do nothing because the divorce is going to happen whether you want to be cooperative or you don't, or you want to go missing and skip a couple of states over and go into hiding. It don't make a difference because I'm here to tell you this is what the law will do in Missouri. Each state is different, but the law in Missouri they will literally put an ad in the paper. It's not really an ad, but a commentary in the paper to notify you. You have 30 days to respond. This person is filing, your spouse is filing for divorce. They have to be notified in writing. So it will literally be put in the newspaper. I don't know if they changed that, but back then when I got divorced, that's how it was. They have 30 days to respond to that. If they do not, things are going to happen with or without you. It may take a little bit longer because they're uncooperative. It might cost a little bit more money. I'm not sure. That's something you have to talk to your attorney about. But you don't need their cooperation. You don't need them to be okay with the divorce. They could just skip to Egypt if they want to and turn into I don't know, turn into a sheep herder or something and change their whole identity, get surgery to fix make their face look different. I don't give a damn what they do. Your ass is getting divorced, period, dot, end of story. We don't need your permission and we don't need your cooperation. So don't ever feel like you've been battered to the point where you're stuck in a marriage you don't want to be involved in. You don't look here. Your lawyer will help you. Believe you me, your lawyer has been through this type of thing before with other people who are uncooperative. I'm not signing nothing. I ain't responding to nothing. I'm not getting a divorce. Yes, you most certainly are, sir or ma'am. Yes, you are. All right. Don't you even let them trick you into believing that you're stuck forever with this person because that's a load of BS. You ain't stuck no damn where. Okay. So I think those are the main things. And I want to also, one more thing that I talked to a friend of mine tonight about, and I want to mention it. I'm going to try to make this quickly. So, a lot of times we can be drawn to caring fields like medical, law enforcement, fire, firefighters and that kind of thing. Those are helping professions. However, However, a lot of times those people have serious issues, especially if they don't know how to deal with trauma. So they're going to see the worst of the worst. Okay. The worst of the worst. I'm not going to go into, I mean, if you want me to, I can. There are just, as an EMT, I didn't witness it, but I know of some horrific things that have happened to people. Horrific things that have happened to people. These are the types of things, if you don't have a therapist and you don't have a way, you work in the helping profession and you don't have a way to get that stress off your head, then a lot of times they will go into drinking too much alcohol. There is a high incidence of domestic violence with police officers. This is not an uncommon thing. You can't, it's hard to escape it because the boys in blue stick together. You know, they can find you anywhere you go. They can find you. I mean, they're very proficient in using weapons and that kind of thing. So even though it may appear to be a helping profession, it might be the total opposite. So be very careful and take your sweet time getting to know this person, because if it goes south, it could go so south so fast, and it could be a bad deal all the way around the board. And like I said, they're proficient with weapons, and you just gotta be careful. Okay, you just have to be super duper duper careful and make sure you know exactly who and what you're getting involved in. And because the mask is gonna slip, the mask is heavy, the fake facade of the nice person is gonna slip. The mask is gonna fall, and when it does, you're gonna see the real them. So be careful, be careful, be careful. Tread lightly. Okay. All right. You guys take care. Much love, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.